everybody, and welcome to another demo. In today's demo, I'm going to show you how to use Zoom. Once you have received an email with your login details, I want you to go ahead and click Zoom to open it up. You will come to a window like this. First one says Join a Meeting. Second one says Sign In. To join a meeting would be if we had sent you a meeting number and we wanted to talk to you personally, just like you would do in a Skype call. Now, go ahead and click Sign In, okay? And once again, you should receive your login details via email from us, okay? And then I want you to go ahead and put in the password, which you will also receive. Click Sign In. There we go. As you can see, this is our dashboard. Okay, it's a very small dashboard, and you have a few options. Okay, you have Join a Meeting, Start with Video, or Start without Video. Okay, the thing that I always do is start without video because I might be getting ready for the lesson and I'm not ready to start my lesson just yet. So, you know, as soon as you start with video, the students might see you and, hey, teacher, and then you're starting the lesson already. So I always start without video so that they know I'm just preparing my lesson. Okay. Go ahead and click Start Without Video. As you can see, the whole screen turns black because it's connecting. Okay. And then it will look something like this. Okay. You have, on the bottom left, a mute button. Okay. As you can see, when I talk, the green fills up the microphone. That means that there is some audio coming out. Okay. You can also choose the microphone that you are using. Okay. I can use my computer's built-in microphone, or I can use my headset, which is what I'm using now. Okay. And because I'm using a headset, I will also set my speakers there. This is not an issue, but this is it in case you have a problem and you don't know what's going on. Check the settings just to make sure. Okay. Now, mine automatically joins my computer audio. Okay. When I say computer audio, I mean my microphone. It's automatically connected. Okay. In the case that you don't have this, what will happen is a little pop-up window will appear and it will say Join Computer Audio. Okay, Join Audio. If you haven't got that, click this button. Okay. There we go. Now, my audio is connected. If I wanted to start my camera, I can click Start Video. Okay. And then you have a few options at the bottom. Invite. If you wanted to invite someone to the meeting, we don't need to do that. The students already have the number. Manage participants. This is very important. Okay. Now, what it would do is it would show you who is in the meeting. Okay. And next to their name is a mute button, which you can mute the person or you can mute yourself. So I am muted at the moment. The next thing is you can click Rename. If you have a student whose name is iPad, or they have some Chinese lettering, then once you find out what the student's name is, you can rename them. And then it's easier for you to call them or respond to them during the meeting. And that way you don't forget who your students are, or you don't have to keep looking at a piece of paper next to you with their names. Okay, you'll have their names on there. So mine is Hilton. Okay, I'll put it back. All right. Now, next thing you want to do is go to Share Screen. Okay. If you have a book open, then you can click Share Screen and look for the book in one of these windows. These are your options. You have Desktop. Desktop means that the students can see everything that you're doing. Okay. it's not the best option to use because there might be something on there that you don't want them to see, or even if you have a crazy computer background picture, maybe a scary one, or maybe one of you out having fun with your friends, probably best not to do that. So here we have whiteboard. Now I'm just going to go over to the whiteboard for now and explain some of the other settings. Okay, here is the whiteboard. This is where, during the lesson, you can come, write down some vocabulary, write down some grammar exercises, draw some pictures, anything you need to do, just as if you were in a classroom. Okay. And at the top here are your settings. Again, mute, start video, manage participants, which now comes up as a pop-up like this. You can also lock your meeting. Locking your meeting will stop other students from entering your classroom if they come on earlier than they are expected. Okay, so wait a few minutes, make sure all your students are in the classroom, and if you have a class right after, it's probably best to lock your meeting. But don't lock it as soon as one student enters, because obviously the others will be trying to get in and they cannot. Okay. All right. You can also mute all. Okay. Now, if you mute the students and they keep unmuting themselves, you have a little option here. It says allow participants to unmute themselves. Yes or no. Yes or no, by ticking the box. Okay. Next thing is you have whiteboard. By clicking whiteboard on another screen, it would be annotate. So for an example, I'm going to quickly open up something. Okay. All right, back to whiteboard. Now I'm going to share my Google Chrome. Okay. So let's say this is my Google Chrome. Now I'm sharing my Google Chrome. They can only see this window. They can't see anything else on my computer. Okay. So if I minimize that, they wouldn't be able to see. As you can see here, it says your screen sharing is paused. So they can't see anything around here. Okay. Open it up and it's back. Okay. Now you can see there's a button here that says annotate. Okay. And as you saw when I was on whiteboard, it had whiteboard written. Okay. So just don't get confused with those two. It's exactly the same. It's just, I don't know why they changed the wording. You have a select tool. Okay. So if I have an image and I want to move it, I can click that image and move it around the screen. This is what the select tool allows me to do. Resize it, change it, anything. And that goes for even if I have a little stick man, for example, and I'm using him, I can click the select tool, click and drag, and put him inside the box. I can also resize him. Okay. And it gets a little bit tricky, but you can still move him around. All right. Now I need to get rid of this. I have an eraser tool. Okay, which I can just click and drag, just like you were rubbing something out on paper. You have a text tool. Okay. And once you've written some text, the only way that you can edit the text is if you use select. You can't use the text tool again, because if I try click here, it just starts a new text. Okay. You need to use the select, double click. If you're writing a sentence, just stretch out the box. Okay. And you can continue to write down whatever you want to do. Okay. And I can move it around too, with the select tool. All right. So select allows me to move it anywhere on the screen. All right. Now, with the text tool, if you want to change color, just go over to format. Format allows you to change the color of the text, the color of the pictures, the color of the lines, anything you want to do. You have a line width if you want it to be thin or thick. Okay. You can make your fonts bold, italic, or change the size. For younger kids, I suggest using 72. That way it's easier for them to read the letters. if you're showing them a picture, let me go onto Google Images. And let's find a little picture like this. This is just an example. Okay. Now, if I want them to follow where my mouse is, they sometimes cannot see my mouse pointer. So, annotate, spotlight. As you can see, there's a little red dot. Now the students can follow. So if I say, what's this over here? And I'm pointing with my mouse, and the students are not responding, it's because they don't know what you're pointing at. But if they see this little red dot on the screen, it gets their attention. Okay. Going back to the whiteboard. Now, as you can see, the whiteboard, my writing is still there. If I go on here and write something, so let's say I wrote down clown, okay, on the screen. Now I go back to whiteboard. This writing is still here, but I go back to the browser and my writing is gone. So anything that you want to write down that is important, I would suggest going over to the whiteboard and putting it there. That way it does not disappear. Anything that you write on the browser, if you change to a different share, it will disappear. Okay. Same with the books. Now, back to the whiteboard. If you need to clear something, you can see the trash can here. It says clear. Clear all drawings. That's if all the students and you are all drawing and you want to clear the board. Or only clear my drawing. You can also only clear the students' drawings. So if you're writing some stuff and you don't want to erase everything, and you try and use the eraser tool, it can be a little bit tricky. So you can clear the others' drawings. When it gets out of hand, and the students are scribbling on the screen, you can go over to the top where you have these 3 dots, and it says More. You have Disable Participants Annotation. By clicking this, they will not be able to draw anymore on your screen. However, if you want to turn it back on for maybe they need to answer a question, go back to Allow Participants to Annotate. Alright, the next thing you want to do is, this is probably the most important thing. Okay. Most of the accounts are set up. However, please make sure to record to the cloud. Record to the cloud. Not on this computer. Record to the cloud. That way, we have reference that you taught the lesson. We can review the lesson at any time. And also, if a student requested the video, or a parent asked for the video, we can send them the video. If we tell them that the teacher forgot to record the lesson, it won't look very good for us. Okay? So make sure that you record to the cloud. The last important thing that you do need to select is Share Computer Sound. This doesn't mean your microphone, as we talked about in one of the points before. This would be located where you click New Share. You can see here it says Share Computer Sound. Okay. By ticking this box, the students will be able to hear any audio files that you play on your computer. They can hear exactly what you can hear. If you play a YouTube video, they can hear it and see it. Okay. So you do need to click Share Computer Sound. It is very important, especially if you're going to open up a YouTube song or something that you want them to listen to. You do need to make sure that this is ticked. Okay. Otherwise, they will not be able to hear any audio that you play on your screen. They will be able to hear your microphone because you joined computer audio, but you also need to share the sound, just like you share a screen. Okay. So when I start the lesson, I will go start without video. I will go straight to the whiteboard, and I would click here, share computer sound, and make sure you click share screen. Lastly, once you have finished the lesson, you might be wondering, well, how do I stop everything? Okay, you need to end the meeting, obviously. Now, you don't need to click stop record, which would be at the top here. It would say pause record or stop record. You don't need to do that. Okay, once you end the meeting, it will automatically save that recorded video to the cloud. Okay, where it says more, I can go straight to end meeting. So if I don't want them to see my big head, I can just go end meeting, and then I can have this pop-up window ready. Okay, and I can say, all right, guys, well, see you next week. Thanks for a great lesson, or have a great day, have a nice evening, bye-bye, and then I click end meeting for all. This stops me, and now I'm off the meeting. The kids have been signed off, I've been signed off, and I can go get some coffee or have my break. Okay. That is the end of this tutorial. I hope that this helps you out, and best of luck. Any questions, please feel free to ask me. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.